Hey guys, I figure it's time for my next chapter in my cancer journey. No, fortunately, I am not back in the eye patch. I just, I wore it for about 6 months during this part of my story. So I wanted to show you guys kind of what it looked like. But yeah, I cannot wear this for the entirety of the video. It is so annoying now that I have beautiful clear vision. So where we left off, on Christmas in July 25th, I learned that, my cancer was spreading. It had spread to my brain, spread to my ovaries, spread to my mesentery, which is the stomach, and was growing again in the bones, growing again in the breast. Luckily, liver was still fine, take the small wins. But yeah, so I went through a whole brain radiation as a result of low brain immunity. I immediately got meningitis, and actually through all of this, do you hear my dog? Through all of this, I was dealing with severe double vision, from, the cancer spreading to my brain. So actually, I noticed, the first time I noticed it was July 25th. And July 28th, I think it was, I actually drove down to Savannah to pick up my friend. We went to Charleston, and then we saw Big Time Rush in concert. It was excellent. But yeah, when I was trying to drive, I was like, this is not safe. Like, I can't really see. So I actually made my first eye patch, my first makeshift eye patch. I folded a tissue up into a square, and I stuffed it in my sunglasses. And then when I showed up to pick up my friend, I was like, please don't be scared. I have to drive like this because I don't know what's going on with me. So I did that. We made it up to Charleston, and actually, I feel lucky because who else gets to see Big Time Rush with 2 Carlos, 2 Kendall, 2 Logan, and 2 James? So yeah, I did that. And on the way home, I was like, okay, I can't have this tissue. I stopped by, I think it was a CVS, and I got my first one of these. So obviously they get pretty gross when you wear them 24/7 all day, every day. So I went through quite a few of these. This is one of my last ones that I kept. But yeah, so I was wearing that to get my whole brain radiation. I was wearing that, recovering from meningitis in the hospital. And then finally, once all that kind of died down, I figured I need to go deal with this. So I went to one eye doctor, and she let me know that when the cancer spread to my brain, it killed off one of the nerves, of my 6th nerve, leaving me with cerebral nerve palsy. So my eye was constantly facing in. So the eye still worked perfectly fine, but that's why I had that terrible double vision. I said, okay, what do we do? She said, that nerve is dead. There's nothing we can do. So I saw another doctor, and he said the same thing. He said, that nerve is dead. There's nothing we can do. But I was 29 at this point. I wasn't just about to give up my vision for the rest of my life. So I saw another eye doctor. Now, did you know that Botox was actually created by pediatric ophthalmologists for this exact purpose? The idea was that they'd put Botox in the other side of the eye, so it would pull it that way. And then the muscles in this side of the eye would have to get stronger to pull it back. So that was the original plan. And Dr. Berland said, it might not be perfect, but we can always do, a little bit more, a little here, and adjust it to get it where you want it. And, he said it was going to be a 6-month recovery, that I'd probably have to keep wearing this eye patch. I wasn't excited, but I wasn't just going to give up. If that's what I had to do, that's what I had to do. So, I'm getting ready for the surgery. He did want to wait 6 months. He said sometimes these things can fix themselves. I had my fingers crossed. I waited the period that he said, 6 months, and then I was ready just to get the Botox and get it over with. Well, 1 week before the surgery, he calls me into the office to talk about this surgery. And he says, Heather, I actually want to try this new surgery on you. It's brand new. I've never done it. And you are probably going to be the first person in Georgia to ever get this surgery. But I want to move 2 of the muscles in your eye so they can work on the entire eye. Now, some of you are probably like, that's really cool. Some of you are probably like, that's really scary. I was feeling all the feels, but when he said it was an 8-week recovery time, I said, I'm in. Let's do it. Let's do it. And look at me now. You would never know. You could never tell. And I don't have full range of my eye. Like, I can't see to the extreme left. But you know what? If I need to see over there, you know what I do? And I can see. So, yeah, I did take videos of my recovery every week. Unfortunately, week 2, I got COVID. So if I look nasty and snotty in this video, it's not from, my eye surgery. It's because I have COVID. But yeah, I am going to drop those in this video. Because, yeah, it's kind of cool to see how my eye recovered. And by week 8, look at me. I saw Dr. Berland again. He was like, I cannot believe the results are this good. And I'm just so grateful that I trusted him and that I kept fighting. You don't have to take no for an answer. You don't have to take the first answer, as the answer. Now, this is a miracle surgery, I feel like. This is not going to work in every case, but doctors are coming out with new stuff all the time. That's why I'm a huge supporter of funding research, donating to research. So yeah, next time something crazy happens, fight for yourself, fight for the answer that you want, advocate for yourself, and you may turn out looking beautiful just like me. Stay positive, everyone. 1 week after eye surgery. 2 weeks after eye surgery. 3 weeks post-surgery. 4 weeks after eye surgery. 5 weeks after eye surgery. 6 weeks after eye surgery. 7 weeks after eye surgery. 8 weeks after surgery.
Let's see what's going on over there.